Viewers, welcome back to the Personal Injury Law Show. Before the break, we were talking about the plight of Mr. Reid, who went to the assistance of a little old lady to push her car, ruptured his Achilles tendon, took him went to the TAC to try and get his medical and associated treatment paid for, along with his loss of earnings because he had 5 months off work, and he got knocked back. Now, he's gone to the Mr. Reid's gone to TV on this, on air. So I want to go to this film clip and maybe we can have a chat about it afterwards. So can we go to this film clip?
I saw a car with their hazard lights on. To the left of it was an old lady. I asked my friend to stop the car to render assistance. I told the lady if she could hop in her car and put it in neutral and I'll push her car out of harm's way. As I went to push the car wouldn't go. So I pushed on it a little bit harder, and that's when I ruptured my right Achilles heel. I was unable to work for about 5 months, which resulted in me losing my job. Financially, it hit the pocket a fair bit, because I was only getting about $520 in sickness benefits. Initially, TAC denied my claim, so we took it to VCAT, but because the car wasn't in motion, that's the reason why they denied my claim. On a personal note, I was working 84 hours a week, and then after the accident, I was housebound for 4 to 5 months. I was a little bit disappointed as I was helping out an elderly lady on the side of the road to get out of harm's way. I do not have any regrets. I thought I was doing the right thing at the time, and if someone else needed my help, I'll definitely go and help them out.
Viewers, that was the plight of Mr. Reid. Rob, what do you say about it?
Well, it's a tricky situation because, as we said, the Act says it has to be caused by the driving of a motor vehicle.
But she's driving. She's sitting in the car steering.
That's what it seems like.
Isn't steering the car driving?
Well, no. Well, the driving is propulsion or movement of the vehicle.
Well, he's moving it. He's pushing it.
Well, he didn't get to move it. They didn't get as far. And even then, the tribunal member actually said even if he moved the vehicle, she would only be able to steer it, so it had nothing to do with the propulsion.
All right. Assuming, because we don't know we can't be sure of the facts, it's not proven that there was no petrol in the tank.
That's right.
It's not proven that the battery was flat or not. No. So instead of there not being petrol in the tank, there's a very good chance that the battery was flat. Assuming it was a flat battery, he's pushing it and start the car up that way. That's propulsion.
Well, maybe that's different, because in this case it wasn't...
What do you think, Rob? I think that's propulsion.
Well, it seems like the tribunal member was saying even if the car had been moving to some extent, he almost suggested it had to get to a certain momentum before he would think it was...
Don't you reckon we're splitting hairs, eh?
I think so. I mean... So.
Well, if the vehicle moved, say it was to jump-start the car by pushing it the old way, and the car jumped and it caused the injury, well, that's completely different, because that would be driving, in my view, because it's propulsion, the motor's involved. But in this case, there was suggested there was nothing that could move the motor. Even if you pushed it, would only be the wheels moving.
I reckon it's an absolute sad state of affairs and ludicrous. This car stopped in Dynon Road, and if you know Dynon Road, it's an incredibly busy stretch of road in West Melbourne, and in all probability, if the car had stayed there and the little old lady couldn't move it, there's every chance that someone could have run up her backside and caused her a lot of damage. Well, and at that point in time, TAC would be responsible.
Well, that's right. Look, he's a good Samaritan. That's how the counsel for both sides opened up the case. He's just described as a good Samaritan.
Would you have gone to her assistance, Don?
I would have. I'd like to think I would have.
Depends on the size of the car, there, Tony. I don't know. Possibly, yeah.
The younger generation.
Well, can I use this example?
The issue again.
Can I use this example? The example of a road rage.
Yep.
Now, they used that case was many years ago decided at the tribunal, which it wasn't a transport accident, as a road rage cases, where it was a mere platform. The presence of the vehicle was just a mere platform to the event. And they used that as an example here, where it was just a vehicle that it was there. It was not caused by the driving of the vehicle, but the vehicle had something to do with it. It's just if it's a mere platform, then it's not a transport accident.
Assuming someone's driving and it's a drive-by shooting.
In Victoria, it's not accepted as a transport accident.
Okay, so we've missed out there again.
In New South Wales, it may be.
Okay, because of the wording of the Act.
Because of the wording of the Act is completely different. But here, where you've got these strong words directly caused by the driving of a vehicle.
Is it a use of?
Look, it could be if there was it has to be negligent use of to be successful. If she had her brakes on, there was contention. It was a contentious issue at the tribunal as to whether or not she did say or she didn't have her brakes on. We don't know because she didn't come forward. She hasn't come forward as far as we were aware. And secondly, the friend unfortunately passed away sometime after the accident.
Rob, assuming his evidence is, I believe she had the brakes on, the test is only balance of probabilities.
It is.
There's no other evidence that's gone into court.
It'd come down to their credibility, I suppose, in court, and he'd be a very believable witness. But again, you have to accept that the facts actually did occur.
Well, he said it was my belief that she had her foot on the brake. Why wouldn't that get him over the line for a use of?
I suppose I don't know that they tested that too deeply in the tribunal. It more came down, I think, the facts that were accepted.
Don, is it viable for him to still pursue it? I mean, this happened not long ago, 2009.
Look, it's always good to test the area of law. I mean, this area of law has been, the Transport Accident Act's been in existence since 1986, and the wording hasn't really changed much over the years. So it's always good to get some judicial review on it to see the exact wording, the meanings of those words. And
I think if the evidence is that she's got her foot on the brake, and you've missed out on the driving argument, but then if we say it's a use of a car, damage caused by the use of a car, and his evidence is that she's got her foot on the brake, then that's negligent on her part because she should have removed her foot off the brake.
No, that's
so he wouldn't cause damage. And it is reasonably foreseeable that if you've got your foot on the brake and someone's busting the gut to push it, that you can get injured.
Yeah.
True?
That's correct.
Well, we're saying about Mr Reid, I mean, he tried to get into the TSC scheme to obviously get the medical expenses and the wages. So that's a different issue with the use of claim, which is an unfettered common law claim. The underlying theme of the Transport Accident Act...
He could get his loss of income paid.
Well, that's right.
Because that was one of his gripes.
The underlying theme of the Transport Accident Act is that it's not a universal scheme. So the fact that it involves a registered vehicle doesn't mean that it is a transport accident.
Geez, it seems to have a lot of holes in it.
It does. It does. But that's why, I mean, they do look down at these words. They critique every single word of that definition. And like I said, what's interesting is driving is not defined in the Act. So we're really based on case law, which is always open to interpretation and always gets reviewed at the Supreme Court of Appeal or High Court. But as it is at the moment, unfortunately, that's the law.
Rob, it's a sad state of affairs and a sad day when you're discouraging good Samaritans from going out there and assisting people in this situation.
I think so. I mean, he should be commended for his actions, Mr Reid, and I think we should have many more of him because people like that really do help society move along.
And look, let's say for argument's sake he didn't snap his Achilles and someone ran him over trying to push the car, he would have been covered. It's just really bizarre.
It comes down to a fine line, Tony, that's the problem.
Yeah, we're splitting hairs again and it's really sad, but and I think I'm pretty confident they would have gone out there to help the lady, but anyway. Robert, thank you for coming on board.
Thanks
I
for
appreciate
Tony. It's
it.
good to be here.
Don, as usual, a pleasure.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks,
and viewers. Thank you for watching. It's the end of our 8th series. We'll be starting a new series very soon. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned and stay safe. Thank you.